Hello students, welcome to the second tutorial of mine. In the previous tutorial, you all must have learned about the subject verb conquered very nicely, right? Well, in this tutorial, we are going to study the chapter The Midnight Visitor and also discuss the question answers at the end. What I've done, I've divided this particular chapter into two parts. So you're going to see this first part and the second part in the different video. This Midnight Visitor is taken from the supplementary reader, that is Footprints Without Feet for Standard 10th. So let's start. Okay, so quickly we will do the author's introduction. Now, Robert J. Arthur Jr. was born in the year 1909 and he died exactly after 60 years, that is 1969. He was a writer of speculative fiction known for his work with the Mysterious Traveler radio series and for writing The Three Investigators, a series of young adult novels. Now, Arthur was honored twice by the Mystery Writers of America with an Edgar Award for Best Radio Drama amongst his contemporaries of that time. Here in this, you can understand by the name which suggests Midnight Visitor. There are certain characters, three main important characters. Obviously here Osable is the protagonist. Now our protagonist Osable is a secret agent who is fat and plump. Fowler is the writer. He's an amateur writer who meets Osable to know him a little more because he wanted to write something about the life of a detective. And Max, who is another secret agent. Now Max and Osable they have some kind of rivalry which we will come to know once the story unfolds. Okay, Osable lived on 6th floor, which was the top floor of a French hotel. Now that's the most important thing. There is another character whom I'm missing, that is Henry, who I don't want to reveal it now because if I reveal who is Henry and when he enters and all, then the secret will be out of the bag, so which I don't want to do it. There are certain words which will come across in this story, that is Passkey, P-A-S-S-K-E-Y, Passkey, so these are certain things, basic things which will come to when the story proceeds. Now, quickly the introduction. The story is about a detective who defies the stereotype. Basically, he defies the stereotype, as we know from novels and movies that how the stereotype is broken, or, they try to do it in a little unconventional manner. So similarly, Osable uses his quick wit. He was a very witty person, and makes a story of a non-existent balcony. He creates a story of a non-existent balcony, and there is a policeman. So the fear of police makes the intruder jump out of the window, only to crash at the ground. Now, how it happens, when it happens, which are the situations, in which specific time it occurs, that we will come to know gradually when we proceed with the story. Let me tell you the story in a narrative style. That is, Fowler was a young romantic writer. He comes to meet a secret agent named Osable in his office. Now, what had happened that actually he came to gather some necessary material for his book on secret agents. He was an amateur writer and he was actually trying to compile story, a kind of coverage he was trying to do on a secret agent. So he thought that Osable would be a good choice and he wanted to write something and, inquire and know about such a secret agent and wanted to write that. Yeah. So like all people, Fowler had also formed quite a romantic picture of the secret agent as represented in books and films. Now when I say romantic picture, it's not a girl and a boy and all romance and all such. It's obviously not. Now romantic here means it's a very rosy picture in the sense like a detective should look like always Sherlock Holmes, he should be holding a pipe in his mouth with such a hat and such kind of boots and such kind of stick, and he's just like a very handsome and very sturdy and very fit and just doing stunts and fighting sequences like that. That kind of image you get, when you talk about a secret agent. But unfortunately, our secret agent, Osable, did not fit in any of his expectations or the description of a secret agent because he was very chubby, plump, fat. And Fowler had never ever read or imagined any kind of secret agent, similar looking secret agent, what he saw when he met Osable. So Fowler felt a little let down after looking at Osable, which Osable was smart enough to sense it. He could gauge it. He could sense it. Now, Osable's office was in a small room on the 6th floor of a French hotel, that is the top floor, and he was a little sloppy. He was a sloppy fat man. He had an American accent. Now, what kind of accent he used to speak? He had an American accent. Osable himself felt that Fowler was disappointed after meeting him, that he could easily sense, or as I said, that he could smell it. Now, Osable told Fowler that he had a very important paper in his custody. Now, these are certain important documents or which he just mentioned about it. So someday that paper might well affect the course of history. Now, this is the technical aspect of the story, which is actually the part of the story. Now, Osable switched on the light of his room, and by the time he did that, Fowler had his first authentic thrill of his life and for the day. He saw a man with a small automatic pistol in his hand, and he was horribly stunned. He was shocked. He was in terror. So he is actually coming across such a thrilling scene or a sequence in his lifetime where he is seeing a real man standing in front of him with an automatic pistol in his hand. So he was totally speechless. He was actually, just shaking. He was shivering. His lips were quivering in, fear. So Osable was stunned to see Max in his room with a pistol. You remember I introduced three characters. There is Osable, Fowler, and Max. Now Max is the rival of Osable. So he had thought he was in Berlin. Max was lean and lanky and crafty and had the face of a fox. Now the reason you can understand, because when the author is saying he had a face of a fox, that means very cunning, right? There was only one menacing thing about him, or the dullest thing or the ill thing about him, that he was holding a pistol in his hand, which was an automatic pistol. Okay, so Max demanded the important report concerning some new missiles that were in the custody of Osable. Now, these are the important parts of the story, and I want all of you to underline this. Now, Max demanded the important reports or the documents or the papers, the specific file concerning some new missiles that were in the custody.
So I hope you can understand that Max was smart enough to know or to inquire about that those documents or those important papers regarding the missiles were kept by Osable in a very secret manner, in secrecy. So he wanted to take those papers from whom? From Osable. Now, spur of the moment or on the heat of the moment, Osable cooked up a certain story. Now, here comes the twist in the story. Osable was always a very witty man. He was the smartest of all. He was very smart to know when to add the extra or when to deduct things from the story or from the situation. So he very smartly cooked up a story. He told Fowler and Max that his balcony below that particular floor, below the window, there have been some kind of nuisance happening, big disturbance happening. It was the second time in a month that somebody had got into his room from that particular window, which is there, and there is a balcony exactly below that window, because of which any intruder or any invader is just entering his room on and off. So Max, he showed his arrogance and ignorance about the balcony and told very clearly that he entered through a passkey. Now we all remembered, I hope you all remember that the word passkey, I have discussed earlier this term. Passkey is a master key through which you can open most of the locks. So here, with the help of the passkey, Max, who was a rival of Osable, he entered the room. Osable told Max that the balcony actually belonged to the other apartment. Now here, that particular balcony actually belonged to the other apartment, but just because that balcony was there below his window, so it was in such a way, it was constructed that it's very easy for any invader or outsider or intruder to jump in through the help of that balcony to invade into his room through the window. So it was extended under his window, under the window of Ausable in such a way. So Max was now standing erect, not far from Ausable. Yeah, not much far from Ausable. He was actually waving his pistol with a commanding gesture. Now, if you actually point a gun towards someone, somebody will be totally fused. His brain will stop working, right?
Okay, now this was the first part of the chapter, The Midnight Visitor, and you want to reach the climax. For that, you have to watch and learn from the second part of the video.